What's up, witches and warlocks? We are talking episode 2 of Charmed. Let this mother out. Today we learn that the only way out is together. The witches are getting more acquainted with their powers, and there's a new demon in town. We're going to break it all down right now, so don't go away.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
We tried to find the cover, right? It's a cover.
This is the cure, that she gets. Mel gets from Nico.
Yes.
But then they played the cover and it's a mystery. If you guys know what it is, let us know.
We couldn't find it. But you guys, welcome to the Charmed After Show. We're breaking down episode 2, Let This Mother Out. There's a lot to talk about, but before we get into it, I'm Steph Sabraw, and I'm joined by, now we are the power of 3.
Yeah.
Officially, we have Kelly McInerney.
Hey guys, how's it going?
And Alexus Mozell.
Hi, guys.
We're so excited to break this down, you guys. Now it feels complete. I was missing Kelly, you guys. She's going to bring some great commentary. Just trust.
I try. Man, you put me right high on the pedestal.
Okay, so this week we have a new monster of the week, but it's really personal. Ends up being an imposter demon that we're going to break down. But before, we will be talking about the sisters and kind of their grieving process and break down where the sisters are now in episode 2 in the introduction of the new series. And then talk about the demon of the week and how that came about. And then talk about the B plot, like the girlfriend, the ex-boyfriend officially. And get into our special segment where we decided that since this is replicating the best show basically ever, we have to pay some tribute. So our special segment will be mirroring the episode 2 of season 1 of the original Charmed, and we're going to be just talking about it a little bit and comparing and contrasting where we are now. And then we'll have some news and gossip and wrap it up with some predictions. So before we get into the topics, what was your guys' overall thoughts on this episode?
It was good.
Yeah, it was.
You wanna?
Oh, you go ahead.
I don't know, I guess I'm kind of big on the original because I'm being nitpicky with things, but it's fun. I like the girls, but I think there's dumb, super dumb. You just gotta, you were even yelling, go with your gut, go. Come on, how can you not know? I don't know. And I don't like this bad demon guy, the Harbinger of Hell. It looks too much like Venom for me. And we all know how Venom did in theaters. Why replicate that?
Exactly.
But yeah, I've got hopes.
Great. Me too.
Yeah.
Alexis.
They're getting there. You know, it's still taking some time, like she said. When you're comparing it to the original show, nothing can compare to that. So it's definitely going to take some time. But, they're getting there. There are some moments where you're like, come on now. Be serious. Mm-hmm. But, I think it's going to take some time to get there. But it was okay. Better than the first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the first. I wasn't here for the first, but I just want to say I like the addition of a scientist in a sister, because the whole, making potions, that's a great, because science and potion making is, hand in hand, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And she knows how to read Latin and all that stuff. I think that's pretty smart. So I wanted to put some positive.
No, I totally agree. I actually love that.
Yeah.
And on the topic of grieving, it's interesting because we have science now, so it can answer some of the questions that magic maybe can't answer, and then magic. But then there's some things like losing your mom that's just none of them can find a solution. And I was curious. A lot of critics have been saying, okay, we have the 2 sisters, Mel and Maggie, who live together, and then we have the introduction of Macy. And it seems like it was forced for her to already be accepted into living in the house. Did you guys like that? I mean, obviously it had to happen eventually, but already?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty fast. I didn't even think about that until you mentioned it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They still have to get to know her. I mean, they just met her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was kind of fast. And then she's staying in the mom's room, which is really weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
A big house like that, you don't have another empty room?
Yeah.
It seems weird. But let's talk about each of the sisters. Mel, on the topic of this, is the one that's most kind of pushy. She's kind of doesn't know how she feels about Macy, especially Macy living in her mom's room. And she's the more she'll say what she feels and doesn't really care, but she's really like acclimating quicker, I feel like, to being a witch. What do you guys feel about her right now? Do we like her?
I think she's the most impulsive one. You know, she's very much like, no, this board is mom. Like she's very much her own way or the highway, which I like because she's got a big personality.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily agree with her. I don't know who's my favorite yet, to be honest. But I do think she's a good sister with Mel. So I think that shows a lot. But I do think she's like very impulsive, and she's got, at least her anger has calmed down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
She learned that that's what helps her powers. It's her anger. I like her character a little bit. She's not my favorite. I'm still trying to figure out who's my favorite.
Yeah.
But I like her character. But yeah, she's very like, I want it this way. Like even with the Ouija board, they agreed not to do it, and she still wanted to do it behind Macy's back, which was very interesting. But yeah, her character it's gonna take some time to grow on me. But she is so like, I'm a witch. Like she knows this was meant for her.
Yeah. I'm excited to see, because I think she's gonna be one pressing the whole bringing down the patriarchy plot line for this, which they've hinted very. No, it's not a hint. They've made that obvious that that's what they're going to be doing.
I do love that's her personality. Like, just screw all men.
Yeah.
You know? Like, they're all evil.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have Maggie, who she is the one who can read people's minds, and she's still trying to have her social life, which I think will be kind of her struggle through it all, like figuring out how to be a witch and have a social life. And we see her going to the hospital because one of her sorority pledge sisters is in a coma. And she wears the gloves to try to avoid hearing them, but that clearly didn't work. I personally love Maggie. I think she's so cute, and I love that her intuition is going to be the thing that kind of makes her progress in her powers. Do you guys like Maggie?
I like Maggie. I think she's actually going to get stronger with her powers as the season goes on. I definitely like her, and her character is really cute. And I like that she's young and, you know, she's in a sorority. She's so witty. So I definitely like her character.
Yeah, I like the idea of her being in school and trying to balance school and sorority and magic, because we never saw that with the original. They were a little older. I mean, Phoebe did go to college briefly, but that was kind of like also during her blonde phase.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like her. I think she's the most fun out of all of them.
Yeah.
And I think she's even though she's the youngest, she's kind of the most relatable, because you're like, she's still trying to figure the powers out, and we're watching along trying to figure out the show, you know?
Yeah.
So I think she's the most fun to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is interesting. And then we have Macy, and I do like that they're trying to get us acclimated to all these three characters and kind of push the plot, but it feels like it's being pushed way faster than the original Charmed, which I don't know how I feel. Like, maybe we'll see in the next few episodes that it progresses a little bit better. But I love Macy, and we talked about the science part of it, and she's kind of the skeptic, which I think is necessary because the other two aren't listening to their intuition.
I don't think she's 100% the skeptic, because she has her powers down pat too. Like, I would say she's more into her powers than Mel, because she was like moving things, cleaning.
No, I mean the skeptic, like, they're not being naive.
Yeah.
She got naive at the end of this episode, but she was the one who's like, how do we know that's mom?
Yeah, I think she's the smartest in that aspect. And being like, let's try the truth serum. Come, let's not trust this board. Yeah, I agree.
I think she's a balance between the two sisters. She's going to be a good balance between the two. Kind of like Piper in the original Charmed.
Yeah.
Like a balance between the two, for sure.
Well, okay, so before we get into the Demon of the Week, which I'm excited to talk about because I think they did a pretty good job with this, Alexis has a announcement for us.
Yes. So, hey, AfterBuzzers, our network produces after shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows. From dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and more, there is no network that works harder to serve television fans. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel, and check out our AfterBuzz YouTube channel as well. Let us know you did so in the comments, and we'll thank you on air. For now, thanks for being the best fans and helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Yes.
Woohoo.
We love you guys. And there were so many good comments last week. I will read some of them. People are obviously still heated about this reboot even happening.
I mean, I love I like that it's so different, and I agree. Like, I could see why people are upset, but just like, who cares?
Yeah, true.
It's a great idea to start with the younger cast and
women of color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I am curious though, because speaking of Demon of the Week, I wasn't sure what direction they were gonna go in. Obviously, there's the steps of the apocalypse, and we see that introduction later in the episode we'll talk about. But it does seem like they're gonna be doing episodic type things, which is interesting because we don't really see that as much today in TV. A lot of people are more focused on the plot, so I hope that they still can keep a strong, like, they
balance.
have character development and depth into it, as opposed to just like, oh, here's another demon.
I think that's what the original did.
Yeah.
They had, like, followed the story, but also there was, like, a crazy demon of the week. But then there was the big bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have this demon from the spirit board, and we left last episode not knowing if the Ouija board was actually being truthful or not. They said don't trust Harry. So we spend a majority of this episode trying to figure out if Harry, aka
Meghan
Markle.
Princess Markle, was good or bad. And how did you guys think about the introduction with the Ouija board? Did you like this demon who ends up being the imposter?
I thought it was kind of predictable.
Yeah.
I kind of knew. If Harry was bad, I wouldn't have liked this show, because you have to follow some rules of the original. And the whitelighter guy, sure, he doesn't have to be in love with any of them like he was in the original, but they need a guide.
Yeah.
They can't be, even in like all shows like this. Even Buffy had the guy with the glasses.
Yes.
Yeah.
A Batman, his go-to.
Alfred.
Yeah.
They need a helper. So once I saw, like, last episode, with leaving on that cliffhanger, I kind of like that they got to the point of, can you trust Harry? For the people that haven't watched the original, just to be like, who is this guy? No, he is a good guy. But I thought it was predictable, the whole imposter demon.
Yeah. But so it is a good introduction for them for the underworld, because like you said, they don't know anything yet. And the fact that it's an imposter, so it's really playing with their emotions, I think that it was a good plot move to really go back to the original, where the power of 3 is the only thing that can work and make them powerful. Yeah. Alexis, did you like that?
Yeah, I did. I really did. And also agreeing with you with the Ouija board. I said last week when it ended with that the Ouija board was probably going to be a demon, because in most cases, the Ouija boards aren't who you think you're talking to. So for sure, I was like, that's probably not the mom. And of course, like you said, it was very predictable. It was not the mother. Ended up being a demon.
My mom, just a personal thing, my mom would never let us use a Ouija board because of The Exorcist. In the beginning of The Exorcist, you see the girl using a Ouija board, and then she becomes possessed. And that was my mom's biggest, like, scary movie. And she's like, you can't, you want to become Linda Blair or whatever. Reagan, that's her name.
My God.
So I never trust Ouija boards.
Yeah, I don't either. I feel like it's just like, why are you summoning people?
Yeah.
And it's scary. I would never. No.
And speaking of predictability, I agree. She messes with their emotions, which is it is heartbreaking to see, especially in Macy's case, because she does need answers, and we definitely will find that out later. But that room of what did they call that room of mirrors?
It was a prism. That's what it was. That's what it held. That was the prism of souls.
Okay, yes. So that will be
that's what the triangle was, but I don't know what the place was.
Yeah, what the room was, which was really cool that it was inside the mirror.
Yeah.
But there is a B plot going on with the demons that we didn't know if the
venom?
The venom essentially that Macy picked up was going to be connected to the demon, and it's different. So what do you guys think is going to be? Do you guys think that we're going to have a demon of the week every week, or have more of the focus on this third apocalypse piece?
I think it's going to be a different demon every week.
Yeah.
And then lead up to the apocalypse. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit of both. I think we're going to follow both storylines until the end is just the big Harbinger or hell guy. coming out
The end of season 1.
all venomy
gosh.
and being like, hey, I'm Eddie. I'm just referencing. I'm a symbiote. I don't know. I just hate that it looks so much like that. Like,
Yeah, what do you think that they can do better? Because I've been thinking of that. Like, what direction would you want them to see? Because I personally would love to see because the whole point of Charmed is they're sisters who happen to be witches, and not the opposite of it. So I want to see more development with each other before they're. I don't think that they need to go so head first into all the demons before we actually figure out their powers.
Yeah, and they just met Macy. They don't really know her. You know, it wasn't like the original Tron where, you know, they're sisters. This is like a totally different ball game, and they're just going straight into attacking demons and, you know, going after demons. So they're not even showing us how they're going to bond. They're just throwing them in there. It's moving pretty fast.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to like think of current CW shows. Is this just how they go? Like they just go straight into the supernatural?
Maybe so.
Yeah. Just writing wise.
Yeah.
The way that the imposter demon was killed was Maggie had an inclination that she couldn't read her mom's mind, and she thought that was weird. And we find out Harry tells her, like, the secret to your power is to follow your intuition. And I thought it was really great that it ended up being Mel who is the one who makes the final decision to kill the imposter demon, because that must have been the hardest, but she would know what her mom would say. So I did like that ending of it.
Yeah, because the demon was like just the two of us, which is like, I didn't in the beginning one didn't she say it's the three of us in the first episode?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always she doesn't play favorites. As
Yes.
Mel says.
Neither does
That's
my
all she
mom.
knew.
I always try to get the answer out of her.
Yeah, me too.
I know I'm the favorite though, but I still need the verbalized affirmation. Anything else with just the main part of this?
Well, I wonder if like do you want to talk about the Harbinger yet? A little bit, right? Because I think
No, we can talk about it now because that's part of we do find out, like, yeah, what were you going to say, Kelly, about it?
Just when Maggie touched, because she's been touching everybody lately. When she touched Angela Wu's hand, her brain, like her mind screamed.
Oh, yeah.
So I wonder if like she was attacked by either by the previous guy, the freezer guy, that assaulted ladies, right? Is that the professor? Yeah. Or the Harbinger demon.
Ooh,
But it looks like she's being possessed. I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, it seems like she's being possessed if
by-
we saw the preview for next week, which everyone I'm sure in this chat has seen it.
Well, it wasn't. It was at the end of this episode, though, right? It wasn't in the preview?
No.
Okay.
But it's in, I don't know, because there are, I think, multiple pieces being thrown at us. We have the janitor who was, like, that's the demon that Macy got the piece of venom from. And I wonder why she wasn't an appropriate body to go into.
Yeah, because they need a host.
Yeah.
Which is well, that's... Just like the movie, I watched the movie Venom because I have AMC A-list, not because I paid money for it. Just want to let you guys know. But like that's what happened with that the symbiote can only get a good host and would kill all these people.
Yeah.
And then finally Tom Hardy's body worked. So I wonder if like it was trying to get this janitor, and if it's the same storyline, I don't want it to be.
Yeah.
Because it's too much like a comic book. This is, be a little bit more original.
Yeah.
But that's what that was. So I'm assuming Angela is going to be a good host
Ooh, yeah.
and mess stuff up, but we'll see.
Yeah, so we have that, and then I wonder if that host is related to the professor in any way. So there's multiple demons running around town.
The freezer guy, the frozen guy.
Yeah.
I think that was just a separate demon, right?
It is a separate demon, but he did allude to, you think I did this?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much more coming. So either he's aware of this demon or he works for this demon. The big man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he works for it.
So, okay, let's get into our B plots then. We have Mel's girlfriend, Nico, and she accidentally drinks the truth serum that was intended for Harry. And this is played by Ellen Tamaki, and I love her. I know that there were some comments last week that they didn't like how just because she's a lesbian character in the show doesn't mean you have to dress her like that, and they just had issues. But
Well, hey, look, she's hot now. She took her hair down.
She knows.
Take the glasses off.
Yeah.
So I love that part. That was like the old charmed kind of comedy that wasn't forced. I feel like she didn't force those lines. Like it kind of just felt right and kind of that quirky humor.
I'm glad she didn't lose her job either. Because I was like, a cop telling the truth? This is not going to be good.
But we do find out they just recently kind of rekindled after she started opening up again and realizing that she was taking the grief of her mother's death bad and taking out on her, and that Nico slept with her ex-fiance twice last week.
Greta,
yeah.
what? Not a good idea.
No,
not at all.
Said a curse and I.
But Maggie says to move on. Do you guys think that she should?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know their whole history together.
Tell us.
If how long were they dating? You know, is this like, and how long was she dating Greta? I don't know. I think twice in a week is wow. Why? Unless it was like the same night. Does that, you know, like more?
Yeah.
That doesn't count. That's just one time. But I don't know. I think Nico's nice. I think she means well, and I think for the show, yeah, just trust, and she'll probably even tell Mel
eventually.
Yeah.
I feel like the scene where she gave her the CD before she had to go back to the the station, I feel like she, you know how she paused for a second? I feel like she wanted to tell her in that moment, but then I think she thought maybe this isn't the right moment. I feel like that's when she wanted to do it, but she probably just didn't have the guts to do it.
Yeah, I agree, because that's why she even referenced, she's like, that's why I gave you the cure as a guilty gift. Yeah.
And then on the flip side of relationships, Maggie is dealing kind of with this boy who's in love with her, and after she leaves the hospital, she's like just wants to have sex and release some of that tension. But when she does, she's still hearing all of his thoughts, which is just like horrible. Like every girl's nightmare.
I thought this was so funny too, because he's trying to like cool off instead of like come quickly. He's like, no, don't think of Nana.
He's thinking of everything else but what he wants to think about.
Proud of her for just continuing along with it.
I know. I would be laughing. I would not be able to know.
I'd be like, dude, what?
I know.
I just loved that part. I thought it was Billie Jean Girl in the chat. What's up, girl? She thought that was awkward. It was kind of awkward, but it's funny. And like, we can't pretend like in college it's not a part of their plot line. A lot of people's plot lines. So I did like that. And I do think that Maggie's character is getting developed a little quicker than the rest of them in terms of understanding her personality a little bit more.
Yeah. Wasn't she a grad student? Mel
is.
Yeah, Mel is.
I would have liked to see her at class, just, you know, once to
living her actual life.
Yeah. Instead of just being obsessed with this board.
Yes.
Obsessed with the board.
Yeah.
Okay, any more thoughts on this episode?
I don't know. I also don't know why Mel doesn't like Harry. Are you guys annoyed by Harry?
No.
I like Harry, but Mel obviously is Mel. She's not going to just let any white cis man into the house without being questioned.
All right, that's true.
So I get her weariness, but I like Harry.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to be great. And I think now that we know we can trust him, I like him even more.
Yeah, same. I just don't like his jokes, his forced jokes.
His jokes do suck.
Yeah. Just let me know when there's bad presidential tweets or something.
Yeah. Some people in the chat do complain because in the original, he's not orbing like the original whitelighter. But things have to change a little bit.
I mean, maybe it's orbing, but it's a different type of special effect. That they just switched the effects. You know, right?
Yeah.
He was going in a circle if you saw.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
So I guess we leave off with the real story being the mother's death and still trying to figure out why that happened, who's in control. And we know like the plan now is to just take the three sisters' powers and then set off an apocalypse. But I guess we're gonna find out what happens with the rest of it. I think a lot of it will be plot building this season, though.
Yeah.
In the hopes for a season 2.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's get into our special segment where we're gonna be talking about Charmed OG episode 2. And Alexis has some information on that for us.
Yes. So season 1, episode 2 of the original Charmed was titled "I've Got You Under My Skin." And the plot is Phoebe can't resist a peek into the future. She and her sisters learn their first lesson in witchcraft. Deadly demons can come in any kind of package, including gorgeous male photographers.
Ooh.
I remember this episode.
Me too.
Yeah.
And it's kind of interesting because it is an imposter demon. And I mean, because he does change his appearance, if I recall, where he's like really cute and then he turns like really
This
creepy.
Weird, creepy
Yeah.
person. Yeah.
She's going for pictures too, right, Phoebe?
Yeah.
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 He ties her. He ties the women down on the bed, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it's interesting. There's that same theme of going for someone's desires, manipulating them for some other cause, and then you get them in.
Yeah.
That sounds like real life men stuff. But this episode was the mom.
Yeah.
Which is even more messed up.
Yeah.
But I love this episode. I actually am rewatching the series. I know Alexis is too.
On Netflix, binge watching.
And I know a lot of people I know Charmed Original in this chat, which means you must be really a huge fan if that's your username. Just said a few minutes ago, I love that the new Charmed isn't copying every single thing in the original did. It would be boring and everyone would complain. They wouldn't come up with their own story.
Yeah, I like there's little hints. Like, I like that they have all M names, whereas the original had all P names, you know? It's the same house, too, right?
Yeah.
It's filmed in the same house. Like, so I like the little winks to the original, but I mean, give it a new twist. We don't want to see the same thing over and over again.
No.
And that's what there are different varying opinions from the people who are backing the original. Some of them say
Holly
that,
Marie Combs.
yeah,
Chill out. Oh, sorry you don't have a career anymore.
that they're like, why couldn't they have done it? But
yeah, that's what she said.
and I get like, oh, if it's gonna be different, then let it just be a different show title. And it's like, I don't know. Let's just give it a chance.
Yeah. Also, why do we want like a 40-year-old woman to be a witch again? Like,
no.
I love that they're younger because that's who's watching the CW now. You know?
That's what we said. We were like, I want this to be what Charmed Original was to us.
Yeah.
Like, the younger girls deserve it. And especially if they're going to be talking about being, like, kind of politically active and talking about women's issues. That's important.
Yeah.
And I am surprised, and I do love the amount of men that are in both this chat and talking about the original chat.
Yeah.
Original Charmed. You guys rock. And then after we do Kelly's snooze and gossip, we will be doing some chat shout outs. So let's get
predictions.
in predictions. Let's get into the news and gossip.
All right. There's two things. So the girl Sarah Jeffrey, who plays Maggie on the show, she's headlining a campaign for PETA 2's youth program, and she tweeted about it, and there's like a video, and there's like a picture that she, on her Twitter, it's like she's wearing a furry hood, and there's blood. Hey, you know what? Using your voice.
Yeah, that is cool.
And then one of the showrunner, I don't know if she's the showrunner, but she's developed the new show and produced it, Jenny Snyder-Erman.
Oh, yeah. She did the show with Gina Rodriguez.
Jane the Virgin?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. She talked to TV Line, and she hinted saying that you'll hear about their families around episode 7, which is good. Yeah. But also, episode 7, why that long?
That's a long time.
Yeah, and the first father will appear around episode 9. There's gonna be which is cool. There's gonna be hints to like mythology that's in the original, but there's gonna be different things too. Like there's gonna be a satyr in an episode coming up, which is a half man, half goat, and things like that. Yeah,
interesting. When you say the fathers, do they all have separate dads?
I don't know. It just says the first one. I would assume there's 2 different fathers at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Macy has a different dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all she said.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. I really want them to. I'm like really pushing for this show to be done Right. And I know it takes a few episodes, so we'll see.
And I remember in the original, they had a good relationship with their dad, who was like a mortal dude.
Yeah.
But he was like always, he went to like their weddings and stuff. Remember?
Yeah. And we're unsure of him for a while in
Yeah.
the beginning. And then he,
Popped
so
up.
hopefully it's a good relationship like that because they need someone.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you,
Yeah.
Kelly.
No problem.
I did want to shout out someone from last week's episode, Charles Wesley Evans. Hey, you commented, never watched this, very cool, totally subscribed. I'm a diehard fan of the original, but I'm totally open to this, and then gave like a really cool opinion. So we really appreciate you subscribing and giving this a chance, because I know there was a lot of haters.
Yeah.
In the chat right now, Prince Saracosa Suave 21, Carlos Hernandez, Nas, Billie Jean Girl
Wow,
24, yeah, the Nas,
Dang.
Darius Taylor, Nasaid 5674, Charmed Original. There's so many people in this chat. Mark Ryans, you guys all rock. Thank you guys for talking with us. I only see 3 thumbs up though, so
And more.
if you guys are watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button and also comment to us after the video so we can keep the conversation going. If you're listening on iTunes or Spotify, which we're now on, so you can stream us there as well, please give us those 5 stars and also leave us a comment so we can talk to you guys, because there is a lot to talk about. And I know there's a lot of tea to spill for a lot of people. Let's wrap it up with some predictions.
All right.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Alexis?
So I think some more is going to happen with Angela Wu. For sure. And then I also think Galvin and Macy's gonna have a little romance. I kind of feel like it's gonna develop into something. Maybe at the end of this next episode. And then I feel like the sisters are gonna get more in touch with their powers. More so. I still feel like Maggie is gonna learn more. Like I feel like she hasn't like really just got in touch with all her full powers. But I definitely think Angela Wu is gonna be an issue the next episode.
I think we shouldn't trust Galvin. I think he's the bad guy, or one of the bad guys, because where does all the bad things happen? Oh, in the
lab?
Lab, right? So I think he's a bad guy. What happens with all the previous like charmed things? The love interest is usually the bad guy, right?
Yeah.
So don't trust
Smart.
Galvin, baby.
And Galvin, remember Macy was on the phone with him and was like, what is happening? I was supposed to do that. And we don't really find out, right, what they were all scurrying about, but all the doctors were freaking out, so maybe he got a sample. I'm not sure.
Well, or
the doctor dying, or the janitor dying.
Yeah, I think that was the janitor dying.
But they didn't
tell us
specifically
anything.
tell us.
Yeah.
We're just, I guess, to assume. That's a good point.
And she's giving him too much, like asking him too much advice. And he's like, no, you should be with your sisters, blah, blah, blah.
Unless he loves her, but we don't know. We're going
Nah.
to question everyone's intentions on this show.
Don't trust any man unless he's a whitelighter.
I definitely think with Angela, she's screaming for some reason.
Yeah.
And I hope we can help her.
I know.
That stresses me out. And I guess this is more of like a selfish thing as opposed to prediction. I just really want to see more character development.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I can't wait. What does Harry say at the end? He said, I don't know, something like training starts at 2 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be there, Harry. I'm looking forward to learning more about my witch powers too. And I think we have some predictions in the chat. Nas says, my prediction is that Macy is half witch, half warlock.
Ooh.
Maggie's half Cupid and half witch, and Mel is full witch. Interesting. So they think 3 different dads. So I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And next week we will be here Sunday, episode 3, and I think that will be called Sweet Tooth. So we're really excited to talk about that. Thank you guys for joining us for episode 2. Until next week, where can we find you guys?
Alexus Mozell at Madam_Mozell on all social media.
Hey, I'm Kelly McInerney. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at HollyWeirdo.
I'm Steph Sabraw. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw. Thank you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.